Hello, and welcome to this special presentation about construction contracts and Earth Day, Mindful Contracts for Mindful Construction. Just a foreword, this presentation is protected by copyright laws, therefore no portion of it should be reproduced without written permission. And as a general disclaimer, none of the information presented should be construed as legal advice, nor is there any attorney-client relationship established. My name is Colleen Telling, and I am Manager and Counsel of the AIA Contract Documents Program. For the past 4 years, I have worked with our Documents Committee to create and revise AIA contract documents, write associated collateral, and deliver presentations on various design and construction topics. Sustainable projects are often attractive because they offer benefits to the environment, increase building life cycle, and conserve energy. But during this pandemic, they're even more front and center, since there are many opportunities for buildings to enhance the health and well-being of occupants. After all, buildings are where we spend more than 90% of our time. In this session, I'll discuss how to get your green project off to a great start by using the most suitable sustainable document based on your project delivery method. I'll begin with an overview of green strategies being implemented during the pandemic and how these or any other sustainable concepts can be implemented through the path laid out in the sustainable documents. The documents I will discuss are shown here. With COVID, a lot of thought is being given to redesigning public spaces to ensure healthy environments, and these redesigns overlap a fair amount with sustainable strategies. Earth Day is a reminder that healthy buildings and sustainability are a mainstay that, while acknowledged on one particular day, have a place in everyday life. Prior to the pandemic, material off-gassing from paints, cabinets, and furniture was a recognized health concern. Since the pandemic, more attention has been given to cleaning ventilation systems to reduce the spread of pathogens and installing HEPA filters to trap fine particles. Not only are HEPA filters important during a pandemic, but they are a green strategy that enhances indoor air quality. Many contaminants are tracked into a building on occupant shoes and thus contribute to indoor air pollution. In commercial settings, a 10-foot walk-off mat or entrance grill can intercept this material. These measures also set up a building to be green. Hand sanitizing stations are now frequently found in stores and offices to reduce the transmission of germs. These are a green strategy in the sense that water is conserved. Replacing carpet with luxury vinyl tile or other products was a trend pre-pandemic, but has now gained more attention. Carpets trap a lot of microparticles, whereas LVT can be cleaned and disinfected easily so that microparticles don't accumulate or live for a long time. Many floor materials now minimize the use of plastics and forego toxic adhesives in favor of eco-friendly wood harvesting. Also, cork floors are a sustainable alternative that do not off-gas and are produced from trees that are never cut down, and the cork bark is regenerated after harvesting. Office kitchens are, of course, a gathering space for people and food. quartz counters are a smart choice for health and sustainability reasons. Regarding health, quartz surfaces are non-porous, so they resist the growth of microorganisms. As to being green, many quartz counters are Green Guard certified as low-emitting products. So, sustainable features have been identified for your project, perhaps some of the ones just discussed, and you need a document that walks through the various steps to put this into practice. Well, AIA offers a few different options. Each document is drafted to be a one-size-fits-all solution, regardless of project type, location, the type of goal, such as being carbon neutral, the number of sustainable features, and whether there are green codes to satisfy or a certification system is pursued. We'll first look at E204 as it contains many of the core features in other AIA sustainability exhibits. The E204 Sustainable Projects exhibit provides a process to successfully complete a sustainable project through 3 steps, the first of which is sustainable and special definitions. So 6 key terms are used throughout the document. First is the sustainable objective, which is the owner's goal of incorporating sustainable measures into the design or construction of the project. A sustainable measure is a specific item that must be completed by each party to achieve the sustainable objective. The sustainability plan is a document prepared by the architect showing the allocation of sustainable measures to each party. Sustainability certification refers to a specific certification like LEED or certification required by code. Sustainability documentation is required by the owner or a certifying authority to document compliance or achievement of a sustainable measure. The certifying authority is the entity responsible for granting or denying a sustainability certification. The second step in the E204 process is a scope of services for the architect, owner, and contractor, which allocates their responsibilities. The architect's role is to orchestrate the sustainability process. Early in design, the architect holds a sustainability workshop with all project participants. At the workshop, the group establishes the sustainable objective and discusses sustainable measures, as well as their effect on the project schedule, the owner's budget, and the owner's program. After the workshop, the architect prepares a sustainability plan based on the sustainable objective and measures. From there, the design and construction drawings incorporate these sustainable features. During construction, the architect monitors how the sustainable measures are being constructed and achieved. When the sustainable objective includes a sustainability certification, the architect works with the certifying authority on the owner's behalf. That's a somewhat involved process that consists of registering the project with the certifying authority, gathering, organizing, and managing sustainability documentation from all parties, then submitting it to the certifying authority, preparing and submitting the application for certification to the certifying authority, preparing responses to questions or comments from the certifying authority, and if the certifying authority denies a credit, point, or prerequisite needed for certification, The architect appeals that decision by preparing and filing the necessary documentation. All of these steps are outlined in E204 to clearly define the roles and responsibilities. The owner's scope can be viewed as involvement before, during, and after construction. So prior to construction, the owner provides information such as utility usage data, so the architect can make decisions about the sustainable objective and measures. The owner must select materials and equipment consistent with the sustainable objective and approve the sustainability plan. During construction, the owner will have to share its budget to achieve the sustainable objective and perform the sustainable measures assigned to it. Other E204 requirements are for the owner to comply with requirements of the certifying authority relative to the ownership, operation, and maintenance of the project, both during construction and after completion. The contractor's responsibilities are to perform the sustainable measures identified as its responsibility in the sustainability plan and coordinate that plan with subcontractors. During construction, the contractor produces a plan to dispose of construction waste, detailing procedures and processes for reusing, recycling, or disposing of debris. The contractor must also record achievement toward the sustainable objective and sustainable measures in its progress reports. Now, the third step in the E204 process is to outline legal considerations relative to the project participants. A legal consideration of which the owner and contractor should be aware is that substantial and final completion are not tied to achieving the sustainable objective. This is because the contractor can't control the review and approval process of a certifying authority, which may occur well after substantial and final completion. A consideration that the parties acknowledge in E204 is that achieving the sustainable objective depends on factors beyond the contractor and architect's control, like the owner's use and operation of the project, the work or services provided by the owner's other contractors or consultants, or interpretation of credit requirements by a certifying authority. Consequently, the architect and contractor cannot guarantee or warrant that the project will achieve the sustainable objective. Another legal consideration is that all parties agree to waive consequential damages. On a sustainable project, consequential damages could include unachieved energy savings, unintended operational expenses, lost financial or tax incentives, or unachieved gains in worker productivity. An important E204 protection for the architect concerns untested materials and that the project may not achieve the sustainable objective when the architect is unable to confirm a track record of reliability for certain materials or equipment. For the contractor, substitutions may impact achieving the sustainable objective or measures. E204 requires the contractor to include a statement identifying any effect a substitution may have on achieving the sustainable objective or sustainable measures. For owners who want to contract directly with a sustainability consultant, C204 can be used. The sustainability consultant could be a non-architect of record or a non-architect who specializes in sustainability services. This dedicated consultant is a facilitator or clerk of the works who implements the many stages of the sustainability process that were described as the architect's responsibility in E204. This way, the architect of record can focus on design and implementing the owner's sustainable objective, while the consultant can focus on the sustainability paperwork and communicating with the certifying authority. Contractually, the owner and consultant execute a C-103 owner-consultant agreement without a predefined scope and use the C-204 Sustainable Consultant Scope of Services to define the consultant's responsibilities. If the owner has executed an E-204 with its architect, the owner needs to amend E-204 to recognize that some scope originally under the architect now belongs to the sustainability consultant. If the consultant is brought on before the owner and architect finalize E-204, the consultant can assist in coordinating its services in C-204 with E-204 to avoid any overlap in service. C-204 also provides a roadmap to integrate sustainability into design and construction projects and uses the same definitions as E-204. The scope of responsibilities for the owner and its legal considerations remain the same as in E-204. E-204 and C-204 are both suitable on design bid build projects. For construction management and design build projects, AIA offers similar sustainable projects exhibits. With regard to the construction manager as constructor, or CMC, E-234 addresses the same considerations as E-204, but accounts for the construction manager's unique role in the pre-design phase, in addition to the construction phase. Early involvement of the CMC can be valuable at the sustainability workshop because the CMC can provide input on sustainable measures, assist in developing the sustainability plan, procure items with longer lead times, and offer experience on using certain new products developed for sustainable projects, all of which help to provide a smooth transition when it is time to start construction. During construction, the CMC's responsibilities are virtually the same as the contractor's responsibilities in E-204. In a CMA delivery model, the CM as advisor works closely with the owner and architect during pre-construction and maintains additional responsibilities during construction. During pre-construction, the CMA reviews the sustainability plan and offers advice on constructability, materials availability, time requirements for procurement, and analyzes cost and schedule impacts. During construction, the CMA coordinates the multiple prime contractors and performance of their sustainable measures, collects their sustainability documentation, and responds to the architect's request for information from the certifying authority. Like the design, bid, build, and CM documents, the design build family has its own sustainable projects exhibit, A141 Exhibit C. That exhibit also mirrors the content and organization of E204 and contains the same requirements of conducting a sustainability workshop after which the design builder prepares a sustainability plan rather than an architect. The advantage of this is that allocating responsibility for certification credits or other sustainable measures can be confirmed with the responsible party early in design. Lastly, AIA's Sustainable Projects Guide provides an in-depth commentary of E204, but the information applies generally across the CM and design build families. D503 is devoted to topics like the various certification systems, so LEED, Green Globes, and WELL, and addresses international codes such as IGCC and IECC, as well as standards, including ASHRAE Standard 209, which explains the process for integrating energy modeling during design. The guide offers information about other topics and resources, including materials transparency, resiliency, environmental product labels, and jurisdictional requirements relevant to sustainable projects. Another feature of the guide is that it contains a sample sustainability plan for LEED and WELL, which users can reference when preparing a plan for their project. So D503 is a valuable tool even when a sustainability exhibit is not used. And I'll end with one fun trivia fact, and that is that recycling one aluminum can save enough energy to run a 100-watt light bulb for 20 hours, a computer for 3 hours, and a TV for 2 hours. For additional contacts and resources, I invite you to go to the YouTube link shown here at the top of the screen, where you'll find other videos about sustainable design and construction. For contract documents, you may go to aiacontracts.org/learn. And for questions regarding the content of AIA documents or any technical support, please contact the email and telephone numbers for the respective department on this screen. I hope that this presentation has been helpful in understanding how to navigate the steps of sustainable design by using AIA documents, and that you can apply these resources on your next sustainable project. Thank you.